The skull with a hole. Imagine waking up with a hole drilled into your skull. No anesthesia. No hospital. Just a sharpened piece of stone, and someone who believed it would save your life. This isn't a horror story. This actually happened. Thousands of years ago. Archaeologists recently examined a skull, over 5,000 years old, found at an ancient site in Turkey. And what they found stunned them. A hole, carved directly into the bone. Not from an injury. Not from an animal attack. From a deliberate, careful procedure. Ancient humans had performed surgery on a living human brain. This procedure has a name. Trepanation. The oldest form of surgery ever discovered. And it wasn't rare. Archaeologists have found trepanned skulls on nearly every continent. Europe, Africa, Asia, South America. Different cultures. Different eras. Somehow, they all arrived at the same idea. Cut into the skull. Remove a piece of bone. Expose the brain. And somehow, let the patient survive. But here's the question that keeps archaeologists up at night. Without medicine, without germ theory, without a single tool we'd recognize today, how did ancient humans figure out brain surgery? And even more incredibly, how did so many patients survive it? How they actually did it. The tools were shockingly simple. Sharpened flint. Obsidian blades, thinner than glass. Shark's teeth, in some coastal cultures. No metal. No electricity. Just patience, steady hands, and centuries of trial and error. There were several methods. Scraping the bone away, layer by layer, until it gave way. Cutting a rectangle and lifting the piece out. Drilling a careful circle of small holes, then connecting them like a dotted line. Every method led to the same result. An opening in the skull. This took time. Sometimes hours. The patient was almost certainly conscious for at least part of it. The brain itself feels no pain. But the scalp, the bone, and the pressure would have been unbearable without something to dull the senses. Some researchers believe ancient healers used alcohol. Or plant-based sedatives. Or simply relied on the patient's ability to endure. And the results? This is the part that shocks most people. By examining the edges of the bone, scientists can tell if healing occurred after the surgery. Smooth, rounded bone means the patient lived 4 months, sometimes years, afterward. In some ancient burial sites in Peru, researchers found survival rates as high as 70 or even 80%. Higher, in some cases, than battlefield amputations performed during the American Civil War, thousands of years later. Ancient humans weren't just attempting brain surgery. In some cases, they were remarkably good at it. Why would they do this? So why would anyone risk something this dangerous? Archaeologists have a few theories. And they're more logical than you might expect. The first is trauma. Ancient life was violent. Falls, animal attacks, and close-range weapons often caused skull fractures and swelling. Trepanation may have relieved dangerous pressure on the brain. In some cases, it may have been the only thing standing between survival and death. The second theory involves seizures and severe headaches. Without any understanding of neurology, ancient healers may have believed that opening the skull released whatever was causing the pain. Some cultures believed it let out evil spirits. Others may have stumbled onto something closer to real medicine, without ever knowing why it worked. And in several skulls, archaeologists found something even stranger. Evidence of the same person surviving multiple surgeries. 2. Sometimes 3 separate procedures, on the same skull, healed and repeated, years apart. Whatever they were treating, it was serious enough to risk this procedure again. And whatever they were doing, it was working often enough to try it a second time. What this tells us about ancient humans: it's easy to imagine ancient humans as primitive. Simple. Unaware of their own bodies. But trepanation. tells a very different story. This required an understanding of anatomy. Knowledge passed down through generations of healers. Steady hands, trained through practice. And most importantly, a community willing to care for someone through a long, dangerous recovery. This wasn't reckless. It was medicine. Primitive by our standards, but built on real observation, real experimentation, and real results. Ancient humans were testing the boundaries of survival, with nothing but stone, patience, and courage. From a hole in a 5,000-year-old skull, we've learned that our ancestors weren't just surviving the world around them. They were already trying to understand the world inside them. So the next time you think ancient humans were simple, remember this. Some of them were already performing brain surgery, thousands of years before the first hospital was ever built. If you enjoyed this journey into human history, don't forget to subscribe for more videos exploring the mysteries of human evolution, survival, and history. And here's a question for you: would you have trusted an ancient healer with a blade and your skull? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next adventure.